I really appreciate all four of these goats out here on this lineup, as well as those ones on the second row back there that stood second to him. Really good bunch of goats, good level tops, good clean front chest floors. Really appreciate the amount of muscling and that expression they've got in that hind saddle and the way they carry themselves around the ring. Great bunch of goats, and these kids and their parents need to be congratulated for the quality they've got out here. For me today in this heavyweight division, one goat just kind of stands out. Really love the way he handles whenever I get my hands on him. Really like that overall length and width that he's got, as well as that cleanliness that he's got. The young lady in the purple will have your champion heavyweight.
Your grand champion heavyweight is exhibited by Aubrey Neal.
For reserve, things get really close and really tight between the heavyweight and that second class winner. Really like both these goats quite a bit, but the thing that separates the two of them is that width over the loin whenever I handle him. The heavyweight's just got a little more width. As we handle him down that loin, he'll be your reserve champion.
Grace Seringhouse exhibits your reserve champion heavyweight and your champion homegrown heavyweight.
For your reserve homegrown, I really like these goats out here. I really feel like some of them is getting a little bit of a middle to them, maybe a little tight there. But as I handle them, they all handle really nice and firm. Got a good touch to them. But the one that just gives me a little more length of loin, a little more volume in that hind leg, the lighter weight one will be your homegrown reserve.
Reserve champion homegrown heavyweight is exhibited by Ethan Hansen.
Next up, we got Class 1 of your super heavyweights, 90 to 91 pound.
Going to start this class out with the young man's goat right here on the front end. A really big rear end on this goat. A goat that's got a lot of muscle, a lot of volume in that hind saddle. We're going to follow it with a goat that's a little more up-headed, a goat that's a little cleaner in that chest floor, but a goat that's just not quite got the volume in the hind saddle that first place goat's got. The next goat in the class, I really like the top on this goat, but as we carry that goat on back, we get just a little narrower across the loin area, just not quite the width that I'd like to see that we've got in the first two. The red goat here, a really nice made goat, a goat that's really kind of clean in that front shoulder, but a goat that as I get my hands on him, just a little softer to the touch. I'd like to have him just handle a little firmer out here today. Thank you.
First place goes to Callan Wagner. Second to Annika Struing. Third goes to Delaney Bushhorn. And fourth to Luke Seringhouse. Class 2 of super heavyweights, 93 to 107.
In this super heavy class, we're going to start out with the red goat, really firm to the touch goat, a goat that's got some length on him, maybe a little cover over those ribs today, but really appreciate that hind saddle about him. The young man's goat that follows that, really a big boned goat, a goat that follows that pattern of our red goat fairly closely. I really appreciate him from the standpoint of his volume back over that rib or loin area. However, the length of the loin, the depth of that leg just isn't quite that of that red goat. The next goat, I'd like to strengthen on that top line just a little bit. Just a little weak as it breaks over that shoulder, giving us just a little bit shorter loin, a little softer to the touch whenever we handle. The next goat in the class, really a big bone goat, a goat that just doesn't quite have that volume in that rear leg to get it up any higher in the class, but a good volume, good bone goat right here.
Okay, first place goes to Wyatt Smith, second to Blake Wagner, third to Macy Hanson, and rounding out, you got Landon Smith. Members, that when you leave the ring, remember to go back and get your pictures taken for the auction with your animal. We are now ready for the champion super heavyweight drive.
Today, for your super heavyweight champion, we're going to use the young man right here with his goat for your super heavyweight champion. Just a really firm to the touch, natural type of goat. Really appreciate that about him.
Your champion will be Callan Wagner.
For reserve, I'm going to come back to this heavyweight. I really appreciate this goat for its overall length of loin. I really like that hind saddle volume that it's got. It'll be your reserve champion.
And your reserve goes to Blake Wagner. Now we need a reserve and grand and reserve champion and reserve champion super heavyweight homegrown.
For your champion homegrown in the super heavyweight, we're going to go with the young lady here in the pink. Just a goat that's a really well made and good clean top. We're going to follow that with the young lady in the red. Just another goat that's got that similar pattern, maybe not quite the thickness over that top as our first place.
Your champion homegrown super heavyweight is Annika Struing, and your reserve goes to Delaney Bushhorn. Now we have our grand champion meat goat Wither Drive.
remember, you must have your auction picture made in order to sell at the auction tomorrow. So if you're in the auction and you get out of your last class, come back and get that picture made.
Let's put our hands together and thank these juniors. I think it's tremendous that you had this many juniors come out. It really says a lot for the future of your program here, and that's really wonderful. I really appreciate each of these showmen. I think they've come out and shown their best out here in showmanship. I know some of them had some problems in regular class, but boy, whenever they came out for showmanship, they came out serious, and they've done a good job, and I appreciate that. But the one showman that always had their animal set up, really listened to directions, followed those directions very well, and always got that animal set up very easily and much to my surprise whenever I wasn't watching, and just did an excellent job. And whenever I came back, they always had them set up. And the young lady at the front is going to be your winner in this class.
Nora Lynn Whitty is your junior showmanship champion. If any of you have high schoolers that are thinking about Purdue University, how would you like it if I told you I'd give you a free year of college? Well, it's not me giving it to you, but there is a new program where high school students can sign up for the Purdue Fast Start program and get college credit classes and the exams for free. If they take 5 of those exams and pass them, they're guaranteed admittance to Purdue University. They can take as many as 10 classes, which would mean they would start as a sophomore at Purdue, 1 whole year for free. If you're interested in that, and you've got students thinking about Purdue, look at Purdue University / Fast Start program. It's a wonderful new program for high school students. Another quick announcement. One thing you can help us with tonight. Once you clean your pins out, we need to take down the wash rack in the hog barn and start taking this gating down, and it can go stacked back in the hog barn. We'll spray it out this weekend, but if you want to help us take some of that gating down and get it put away, that would be wonderful.
Please give these intermediate showmen a nice round of applause as well. You know, we had a couple of exhibitors out here in the class that really moved around the ring very smoothly, very effortlessly, really didn't strain or tug or pull at those leads on the goats, and I really appreciate that. The one that just really does a nice job of getting that goat set up, really moves around the ring very smoothly, very effortlessly, is going to be your winner, and it's a young lady second in line over there.
Macy Hanson is your intermediate showmanship champion. Next class in are your senior showmen. You know, I watched every show this week, and by far, you meet goat showmen are the highest percentage of showmen that participate in showmanship. Give them a big round of applause for coming out here and showing in showmanship. Yeah. You notice that we did not pass out a ribbons, awards, trophy plates, and all that. Those will be available starting Saturday in the office when we do project pickup. So all your ribbons, exhibit hall, as well as animals, will all be in a folder for you on Saturday and can be picked up on Saturday.
Let's give your senior showmanship participants a nice round of applause as well. You know, I think through the evening, each one of these kids have had their challenges out in either class or maybe even in this class, and they've all overcome them very well, and I really appreciate the attitude. I really hate the idea that I can't see whether you're smiling or not, so I don't know if you're enjoying what you're doing. But as we progress through this class this evening, I had one showman that just really stood out by knowing ring presence, where she was and where other exhibitors were, and exhibited a lot of ring etiquette and just really helped out where help was needed and didn't overhelp, but really did a good job with that. And that young lady is going to be the winner of this class, and that lady is right there in the blue shirt.
Grace Serienhouse is your senior showmanship champion. And she'll be eligible to come back for our last class of the evening, your expert showmanship. Last call for auction pictures. You have to have those made. 5 more minutes and they're going to go to the office. They won't wait on you anymore. So last call for pictures.
3 excellent showmen. Give them a nice round of applause, please. You know, as we start analyzing just which one's the best, it's a lot of splitting hairs just to get down to one. And I think they all have done a great job and probably all deserve to win at some point or another, and that's how they've gotten to this point in this expert showmanship. But tonight, one of them just really is a little smoother, follows directions to the T, just does a great job. The young lady at the end is going to be your supreme.